First off, happy retirement to Joanna Jędrzejczyk. But let's flip it on the other side, brother. Spinning back fist to your fucking dome piece, man. Straight to the neck, put you down. We've never seen Joanna Jędrzejczyk get stiffed like that in her career before. Yeah, we saw her get dropped against Rose and then the ground and pound to follow up. That was one thing. We're like, oh, she got caught. Then lose a decisive fight after in the rematch. And then, you know, in the war that they had in the first fight, Weili, Zhang, and Joanna, it was crazy, man. But here's the problem, and I'm going to tell you this is where I think Joanna messed up here, because I did think she had a chance of winning this fight, but the power reigned supreme for Weili. This is the problem. She says, I'm going to be surgical. I'm going to be tactical going into this fight. And as soon as she got touched, she turned it into a war. And then I'm just like, God damn, we're back to square one. This is literally just rounds. They were saying to themselves, they're like, this doesn't feel like a rematch. This feels like round 6, round 7 of the first fight. And I agree, brother. You get into a war with Weili, man, and she does nasty things to you, man. She has that power. Let me ask you this, because first off, I have to eat some crow. My crow is shout out to Fight Ready. I said Weili Zhang might be questioning herself. She might not be that same fighter that she once was pre the Rose couple fights. She looked like the best version of Weili that I have seen thus far, man. She looked like an animal, and I am almost positive that give it the 6 months, 8 months, she's going to be champion again. So what do you think about that?
Man, I earlier on the pre-show we were talking about how I don't like when coaches come around and change your style of fighter and they just mix things up. The whole paralysis by analysis, we were talking about it before, how just too many things are going on, you can't think of it, and then you just end up resorting back to what happened. Not Weili, man. She proved that she has the mind of a champion, the heart of a warrior, and she's able to mix things up. And I think that's kind of what got JJ a little thinking, you know, a little on the ropes, a little trying to analyze, what exactly was going on. Because the second the takedown started, started looking otherwhere. And I agree with you, Derek. You can't end up in a punching match. You know, one you go, then I go against Weili. She has absolute power, very impressive. I mean, the fact that she was able to grow her own style a little bit more, like you said, after with the Fight Ready camp, speaks levels to how well trained not only her style is, but her mind as well. She's a thinker, man. She's brilliant out there. It looked really good. Hell of a fight for both ladies, man. I was very impressed. And if you've ever caught a spinning back fist, you know what JJ went through. That was a bomb of a shot, man.
I'll tell you this, it's just not even a funny story, man, but this is something where I can relate. So one of the first experiences I have where I'm sparring with somebody who trains MMA as a young child, this is before, I'm a teenager, man, I'm in high school, right? This is before I knew anything really about the sport. Listen, man, I'm training with my buddy, I'm thinking we're just going to box, right? But this is a dude, he's been in the UFC, he's been in the MMA and all that stuff. He's big on combat sports. We're just going to box up in the park a little bit because we're, young and dumb, and that's what we do for fun as teenagers. And I'm ready. All right, man, I'm going to start, try to slip, jab straight, all that. I get hit with a spinning back fist that I never see coming, bro. I ain't get knocked out or anything like that, but I will remember that for the rest of my days, where it was so boom. You don't see it. It just happened. Next thing you know, you're like, what the fuck? What did I just get hit with? What did you just hit me with, bro? You got 8 arms? Like, what's happening here? And it was one of those, man. And I'm just like, imagine Zhang Weili did something similar to like a Joaquin Buckley-esque improvisation move where she throws the kick. It's too tight. She's in bad space. And she has the wherewithal to say, let me spin. Boom. That's it. And it's like Joaquin Buckley, he gets his kick caught. What does he do? He spins, those other, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, Zhang Weili Zhang, man. I really think that she's going to be the champion again in the next 8 months or so. Carla Esparza, if she has to fight Weili, if this is going to be the next title defense, I mean, come on, bro. What are the odds going to be? Weili would be the favorite, right?
I would imagine so. I don't know nothing's for certain anymore, Derek. But what makes that more interesting to me is she's going to become a better wrestler when Carla Esparza, that's kind of her bread and butter. Imagine she shuts down the wrestling of Esparza, and then we're in a kickboxing fight with the power of Zhang and the power of Esparza, because she's powerful too. Man, that's a good recipe right there.
I'm calling it now. First round KO, Weili. Let's go. And new. Get her championship back. Let's talk about it, brother. But all right, Joanna Jędrzejczyk, she wraps it up. She retires, and we kind of knew that this was going to happen. I called it before she actually retired, because I said, okay, you're 35. You were supposed to fight for the title if you won this fight. You don't want to make the trek back up. You don't want to climb the hill again, man. You've climbed the hill so many times. 20 years into your professional MMA career. It's time, man. And I think now maybe she should get into the managing side of things. She should get into the business side of things and just kind of stick around there, get into the analysis, the commentary and all that, be a fixture of the sport and still remain. But it is safe to say that the Joanna champion era is over, man. The Joanna warrior era is over. And as sad as it is to say that, we did see her pass the torch to Weili. Weili is the new breed, because at the end of the day in strawweight, you have 3 big names. And I'm sorry, Carla Esparza, but you're not included in this. It is Rose Namajunas, it is Zhang Weili, and it's Joanna Jędrzejczyk, man. And Joanna passed the torch to Rose and to Weili, respectively, man. So real quickly, my man, just throw out there, what is one of your favorite memories of a Joanna Jędrzejczyk growing up? Some of the nastiest things that she's done. What are the things that made you respect her as a fighter?
Man, oh, her first fight, not her first fight, her first fight against, it was Carla Esparza, where Carla had the braids, the beads in her braids,
Yeah.
where she just has her up against the fence, just unloading on her. That one was fun. Man, what was another? I think that's probably the one that lives in my mind. All the other ones are like not the best for JJ. Like it was the Rose fights and stuff like that, because I'm a big Rose fan. But I think if the one that comes to memory, my favorite one was where she had Carla Esparza up against the fence, round 2 KO. Probably my favorite moment. What about you, Derek?
I definitely say that is up there. You know, she snatched that belt real quick. That's when she quickly became, oh, who the fuck is this person? You know what I'm saying? But I'd also have to say her tough performance and the fight after with Claudia Gadelha, that was always some fun, man. There was a lot of shit talk that was happening over there. Even against Kovalevich, man, before they became buddies. I mean, Kovalevich was a rising star. It was like, oh, who is this person, right? So Joanna had so many great moments, you know, all the shit talk that she had, even in the losses, bro. Even in the losses where she said, I'm the boogie woman, I'm coming for you, you know, like all of that, bro. It was cringy at times, man, but Joanna Champion lives forever. Listen, I don't want to spend too much time on it, because that is more just personally, I have an affinity for Joanna Jędrzejczyk. I grew up seeing her on the TV and all that, but it's a new era, brother, and it's sad to see. So we'll move on.